My name's Anna Reynolds. I'm Curator of Paintings at Royal Collection Trust and Curator of a Royal Welcome at this year's summer opening of Buckingham Palace. Visitors to Buckingham Palace this year will get a unique insight into what goes into creating a royal welcome for the 62,000 or so guests who are invited to Buckingham Palace each year. So from the silver gilt laid for a state banquet to the dresses worn by the Queen, you'll really understand for all the different occasions that are held here at Buckingham Palace what goes into creating them. Well, for the first time this year, visitors to Buckingham Palace will be entering through the grand entrance where we've put the Australian state coach, and that will give visitors a really great understanding of what it feels like to come up to the front door and step onto the red carpet and feel like they've been invited to Buckingham Palace themselves. The grand entrance will be used by all guests to Buckingham Palace, so from presidents and popes to people invited to a garden party because of some work that they've done in the community. Really a huge variety of different types of people come to Buckingham Palace as guests of the Queen and other members of the royal family. Approximately 62,000 visit as guests at Buckingham Palace each year. They might come for a state banquet for 170 people, to a garden party for 8,000, or an investiture or a one-on-one private audience with the Queen. And we've represented all those different types of events at the summer opening exhibition this year. One of the things that we've done is that we've set up a state banquet in the ballroom, and this is an incredible occasion with glittering silver gilt on the table, flower arrangements, napkins folded into Dutch bonnets. Every single tiny detail makes this a beautiful, beautiful spectacle. We've also set up room sets in one of the rooms at Buckingham Palace, which are designed to show the parts of the palace that aren't accessible to visitors. So we've created a kitchen, for example, where you can see the petit fours made by the royal pastry chef. We've recreated the dresser's workroom with the actual sewing machine that's used to make the Queen's clothes. So you'll get a real sense that you're going behind the scenes this year. When a head of state comes for a state visit, it's customary for them to present the Queen with a gift, and a gift is given in exchange. And the gifts that are usually given to the Queen often represent the country through traditional crafts or representing a particular part of that country or nation. And we've got a number of those gifts on display here today. One of my favourites is a Mexican tree of life, which has been created specially for the Queen. It has a little model of the Queen in the top and various different British landmarks, and it's brightly coloured and it's a really fun, beautiful, very interesting object. We're using the throne room to talk about investitures and to tell people what happens at an investiture. So we've got on display the actual knighting stool that someone kneels on when they're being invested as a knight. We've got a number of different types of insignia on display, and also Order of Merit portraits, which are created for every member of the Order of Merit. So we've got an iPad drawing by David Hockney, for example. In the display this year, we've included a number of dresses that have been worn by the Queen at state banquets and at garden parties. And so this is a real part of a royal welcome. The clothes that are worn obviously create part of the spectacle of the event. So we've got the gown that was worn by the Queen for the Singapore state banquet last year in 2014. But we've got another one that dates all the way back to the 1960s and was made by Norman Hartnell. Visitors this year might find out some surprising things about what goes on behind the scenes at the palace. So, for example, the copper moulds that are used to create ice cream bombs, which are often served at state banquets, many of them date back to the reign of Queen Victoria, and they're still used today by the staff on a daily basis. Copper pans, fish pots, all of these will be on display in the room that we've created to represent the kitchens. When the Queen hosts a state banquet, she always wears magnificent glittering jewels, and we've got a number of different examples in the display this year, including the Kokoshnik tiara, which she wore most recently for the state banquet in honour of the President of the United Mexican States. We've also got the coronation necklace and earrings, and the Queen's personal family orders of George V and George VI, all set with amazing diamonds. A royal welcome is part of the summer opening of Buckingham Palace, and this year it runs from the 25th of July to the 27th of September.